Greetings to all the Tom Campbell supporters around the world, and especially the Kickstarter backers. Apologies up front. This has been a long time coming. I know you guys have been waiting. To answer your first question, no, I'm not Tom. Good catch. No, my name is Scott. If you saw the Kickstarter live streams, I was the host for that. I'm also the one that's been tasked with making the documentary. I'm going to have Tom update you about the experiments. On the documentary end, we've been having problems getting started with the documentary because of the problems with the experiments that Tom's going to tell you about. But the good news is that I've been working with a producer out of Los Angeles by the name of Brad Listerman since nearly the get-go. We're not just trying to do a documentary about Tom's experiments. We are now going to try to take this to the next level and make a series about consciousness and science. And Brad is the one that's helping us do that. So I will let Brad end the video. For now, I'm going to dish it off to Tom. Thank you to all the supporters. Sorry it's been late in coming, but here's some updates on both the rewards and the experiments.
Hello. I'm here to give you an update on both the rewards and the experiments. First, let's talk about the rewards. Bev has now, for the last almost a month, been processing rewards. You should have gotten a questionnaire that lets you tell her just what kind of rewards, or the form that you wanted them in. There's multiple forms now. She has given us a lot of choice that we didn't have before. For instance, you can, if you get a shirt, you can get the original art for that shirt so that you can make just as many shirts as you want for your own personal use, and other kind of options that are just a little more than what we actually promised. So we're trying to give you more than we promised if we can. If you're having trouble with it, you can always send Bev an email and she will either walk you through it or fill it out for you while she has you on the phone and ask you questions. So things are being mailed out, rewards are being received. If you haven't gotten yours yet, well then fill out your questionnaire or give Bev an email, and it will be coming up real soon now. That process is starting to ship. Okay, as far as the experiments go, last time I think I told you that we had a group of physicists who were planning to do at least some of the experiments, that we had not yet finalized the contract with them, but that everything was looking good for that to get started sometime around now. Well, it's not quite started yet. The physicists involved are still anxious to get started, but the legal team, the lawyers for the university, are quibbling and squabbling over who has rights to the video. And we want to make a video. We promised that as one of the Kickstarter rewards, that you'd get, certain donation, you'd get, the video and so on. And we want to put it up on YouTube, because when we do these experiments, we don't want to just say, well, somebody did them somewhere and here's the result, because that doesn't have any credibility. We can only do that if we get rights to the video. So we take the video and then we can display it, we can put it on YouTube. And the lawyers aren't quite so sure that YouTube is really a good outlet for, physics problems. So anyway, we're having just an issue. Perhaps that will clear up soon. But we have other things on the horizon as well. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've found another interested party of physicists who are interested, it seems, in doing experiments. We've exchanged some preliminary information with them, and they seem to be very enthusiastic. So we'll just have to wait and see how that works out as they look at their schedule, when they can work this into what they're doing, how many graduate students or other people might have to be involved. So they're in the process of looking at the experiments and assessing those experiments and what it would take to get them done. So they understand what the experiments are and why we're doing it. So I think that this will probably work out as well. And they can do all of the experiments that the other group can do, plus maybe more. So we're going to get something I think in the near future. There's also an iron in the fire with, we have a person who came to one of the immersives that we did in the UK this year, who has some inside contacts with national labs here, and he thinks he can get them done there. So if that's the case, then we're still working on that one. So the process of getting these experiments done is still progressing. We've got no results yet. It's not a simple thing just to get a university to stop whatever they're doing and work on your experiments. It's something that takes some scheduling and processing, and it's not a quick problem to solve. And as you know, we've had a little bit of difficulty getting physicists to want to work on something that is associated with consciousness. And from their point of view, it's not because they're small-minded, it's because of their beliefs. Consciousness is obviously subjective. It defines the word subjective almost. Consciousness is entirely subjective. Well, the attitude of scientists is that science is objective. Therefore, doing physics on something that's subjective is doing physics on something that's not even science in their mind. That's the problem with consciousness and physics right now. So that's a very narrow viewpoint, of course, but we're running into that. So it's taken us a little longer. We've gone through now at least a half a dozen different leads, most of which didn't go anywhere very positive. But now we have 3 leads we're still working that I think all have very positive outcomes attached to them. So we're working on it. As things happen and we have more information, I'll give you another one of these updates. So thank you very much for your donations. It's making all of this possible. I wouldn't even be able to get in touch with scientists to do these experiments or any of the rest of it if it wasn't for you folks who gave your own hard-earned money to help us do these experiments. And they will be done. It just takes time. So stay tuned. There will be more, another update as soon as we get some major new information to share with you.
Hey everyone, hello from Hollywood. This is Brad Listerman. I am a filmmaker. I've done a few feature films, been involved in a lot of video productions and a lot of film finance, and I am also a fellow Kickstarter contributor like yourself. I'm very proud of this project and being a part of it. I think one of the most exciting things was knowing that we can finally bring together some of the most important aspects of science, philosophy, religion. I mean, that really is the big theory of everything. So I hope you can join me and join us as filmmakers, as Scott told you about, and as we take this exploration and make either a documentary film or we're going to do a documentary series all about the exploration of doing the documentary, the experiments. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be informative, and we're hoping that some of these larger questions that we're going to talk about will really help bring a total and complete experience to an audience that is hungry and looking for more information like many of us. So we look forward to showing you more. We need your support, and let us know if you have any comments or questions for us as filmmakers, because we want this to be as much your film as it is ours. Brad Listerman signing out from Hollywood.